Hey everyone, Timon Veller here from foxreviews.info and welcome to this week's edition of the weekly Forex Algorithm Review. I hope you're all well and that you had a great trading week last week. Okay, the first pair I looked at is USD and I'm on the 4-hour chart. USD last week was a great performer, giving a strong price move to the upside from the 115.50 zone area. The 115.50 zone area was an area that I held last week in the review as a potential bullish evidence area on this market. And as you can see on that test of this area last week, the bulls took control, pushing price all the way up into the lower end of that high area where the bears took control. Unfortunately, price didn't move all the way into a deeper test of that high area before the bears took control, pushing price to the downside. What I'd like to hold in this market this week is that I'm expecting price will continue to the downside. And for all those people that are holding a sell trade in this market, potentially this market may continue all the way down, potentially to the 115.50 zone area. And the 115.50 zone area is once again an area that if price action tests this area this week, that this is an area on this market once again where I'm just looking for bullish evidence in this area. And if I see the right bullish evidence in this area, then potentially looking for a move all the way up to this previous high, looking left, as a potential management point area to the upside, or potentially a move all the way up to this recent major high, or all the way up to the 117.32 zone area to the upside. So overall on USD, holding that if price retests the 115.50 zone area, which was an area that gave a really strong price move to the upside from that area last week and was a great performing zone, that this is a great target area to the downside for all those people holding a sell trade on this market, as well as an area on this market, once again, where I'm just looking for bullish evidence and a potential with the upside from this important area. Okay, next pair to cover is GBUSD, and I'm on the daily chart. At the moment, GBUSD is testing the 130.55 zone area, which is an area that I hold last week in the review as a potential bearish evidence area, and a great area on this market to look for a potential bearish opportunity in this area this week. I will note that if you are already holding a sell trade on this market from the recent test of this important zone, such as you traded this area on the 4-hour or 1-hour, that potentially this market may continue all the way down to this previous low, which is a great management point area to the downside, or all the way down to the 126.66 zone area. However, for all those people who are not holding a sell trade, this is a great area on this market to look for a potential bearish opportunity in this area this week. And much the same as what I mentioned before, and to look for a move all the way down to this previous low as a potential management point area to the downside, or potentially a move long term all the way down to the 126.66 zone area to the downside. Okay, well that's that market. Okay, next pair to hold is AUD/USD, and I'm on the 4-hour chart. Last week in the review on AUD/USD, I held the 71.76 zone area as a potential bearish evidence area. And as you can see, last week, this market pulled back, tested this area, tested deep in this area before the bears took control, pushing price to the downside. What I'd like to highlight is that for all those people that are holding a sell trade on this market, that potentially this market may continue to the downside this week, all the way down to this previous low, which is a great management point area to the downside, or potentially this market may continue all the way down long term to the 70.20 zone area to the downside. However, for all those people who are not in a sell trade on this market, potentially what you could be looking for is to see if price will pull back and retest in the 71.76 zone area. And if it does, that this is a great area on this market to consider a potential bearish opportunity in this area and look for a potential move to the downside from this important zone. Okay, well that's that market. Okay, next pair to hold is EUR/AUD, and I'm on the daily chart. On EUR/AUD this week, what I'd like to highlight is a potential pullback area. At the moment, this market is in an uptrend, and the area I'd like to highlight is the 161 zone area. If I zoom out, you can see it's this previous high area looking left back here. This is an area that if price action tests this area, so if price action pulls back and tests this area this week, or in the near future, that this is an area on this market where I'm just looking for bullish evidence in this area. And if I see a right bullish evidence in this area, then potentially looking for a move all the way up to this recent high as a potential management point area to the upside, or potentially looking for a move even higher on this market in the trend. So overall on Euro AUD, holding that if price declines a little bit further and tests the 161 zone area, that this is an area on this market where we look for bullish evidence and a potential move the upside from this important area, at least up to this previous major high or potentially even higher on this market in the trend. Okay, well that's that market. The next pair I'd like to cover in this week's review is US dollar yen, and I'm on the daily chart. On this market this week, what I'd like to highlight is a target area to the upside for all those people who are holding a buy trade on this market from the recent test of the 110.76 zone area. And that is the 112.77 zone area. And also wanting to highlight that the 112.77 zone area is not only a great target area to the upside for all those people holding a buy trade on this market, a great long-term target area to the upside, but it's also an area to the upside where I'm just looking for bearish evidence in this area. And if I see a right bearish evidence in this area, like I go over in the Forex training on the website, then potentially looking for a move all the way down to this previous high area, looking left as a potential management point area to the downside, or potentially looking for a move all the way down, all the way back down to the 110.76 zone area to the downside. So overall on US dollar yen, holding the 112.77 zone area as a great target area to the upside for all those people holding a buy trade from the recent test of the 110.76 zone area, and also holding the 112.77 zone area as an area on this market where I'm just looking for bearish evidence and a potential move to the downside from this important area. Okay, well that's that market. Okay, the next pair to cover is GP yen, and I'm on the daily chart. On GP yen this week, what I'd like to highlight is the 147.70 zone area. This is a great long-term target area to the upside for all those people holding a buy trade on this market from the recent test of the 144 zone area. And it's also an area to the upside where I'm just looking for bearish evidence in this area. And if I see a right bearish evidence in this area, then potentially looking for a move all the way down to this previous high and low, looking left as a potential management point area to the downside, or potentially looking for a move all the way down to the 144 zone area to the downside. So overall on GP yen, holding the 147.70 zone area as a potential long-term trade area to the upside for all these people who are holding a buy trade on this market from the 144 zone area, and also holding this area as an area on this market where I'm just looking for bearish evidence and a potential move to the downside from this important area. Okay, well that's that market. The next pillar to cover is New Zealand yen, and I'm on the daily chart. Recently, New Zealand yen retested the 72.43 zone area, which was an area that acted as strong support on the previous test of this important area. And as you can see, when price action came into the zone, the bulls took control, pushing price to the upside, giving a nice price move to the upside from this area last week. What I'd like to highlight is that potentially this market may continue to the upside, potentially all the way up to the 74.56 zone area. So what I'd like to highlight is that the 74.56 zone area is a potential long-term trade area to the upside for all those people holding a buy trade on this market from the 72.43 zone area. And also wanting to highlight the 74.56 zone area as not only a potential long-term trade area to the upside for all those people holding a buy trade on this market, but also wanting to highlight that this is an area on this market where I'm just looking for bearish evidence in this area. And if I see a right bearish evidence in this area, like I go over in the Forex training on the website, then potentially looking for a move all the way down, all the way back down to the 72.43 zone area to the downside. So overall on New Zealand yen, holding the 74.56 zone area as a potential long-term trade area to the upside for all those people holding a buy trade on this market from the recent test of the 72.43 zone area, and also holding the 74.56 zone area as an area on this market where I'm just looking for bearish evidence and a potential move to the downside from this important area. And if you look left, you can see the 74.56 zone area was an area that acted as strong resistance on the previous test of this important area and strong support multiple times, looking left back here as well. Okay, well that's that market. The next market I'd like to highlight in this week's review is gold, and I'm on the 4-hour chart. Last week in the review on gold, I held the 12.11 zone area as a potential bearish evidence area on this market, which is that previous high, looking left back here, and also a significant pullback area in the current trend on this market. What I'm expecting on this market this week is that potentially this market will continue to the downside for all those people that are holding a sell trade, potentially all the way down to this low area, which is a great management point area to the downside, or potentially this market may continue all the way down to the 11.68 zone area to the downside. So overall on gold, holding this market performed really well in price action last week, testing the 12.11 zone area and giving a nice decline to the downside from that area so far, and expecting more continuation to the downside on this market this week, at least down to this previous low area, or all the way down to retest the 11.68 zone area to the downside. Okay, well that's it for me for this week's edition of the review. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you all, and I appreciate all the support, the likes, the shares, and the comments I receive on a regular basis. And if you did appreciate this video this week, please do not forget to click that like button to show your support. Every like is appreciated, and it's a great way of letting me know that you want more videos like this on a regular basis. If you have a comment or question on this week's edition of the review, feel free to comment below this video. Also, if you haven't checked out the Forex training on the website, such as the Engulfing Trader, the 5-day training series, or the Candlestick training series just yet, where you can find out all about the Forex training by clicking on the links below this video. Okay, well I hope you all have a great trading week and happy trading.